So yeah, welcome everyone. Obviously, it's been a little bit since our strategic planning session. So this is our first board of directors meeting. Since then, we do have a fairly full agenda, so I'll try to move at a pretty good pace. I do have a meeting at 3, so I'm going to try to keep us on schedule. Kind of overview of the agenda. We'll discuss the work plan, 2025-2026 work plan, an accomplishments document, some requests for assistance that have come in. Like I said, a report from the conference planning committee. I believe Michelle's at another conference, so hopefully Jeff's able to join for that. And then a couple miscellaneous board updates and business items. So jumping in, first item of board business is to approve the minutes from September 10th. So remember, we did have a short board of directors meeting at the strategic planning retreat. We do have some minutes. Hopefully you saw those in the email. If not, they're linked there in the agenda. So I'd ask for a motion to approve those.
I'd move to approve the September meeting minutes.
Thank you, Eric. Can I get a second?
I'll second them.
Thanks, Gail. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 All
And-
approved, same sign. Okay, motion's passed. Sorry, did I cut you off, Megan?
Nope, I was waiting for the, I just want to make sure, Jeff, is that you on the phone? Or
No,
is that
this is
somebody
Rob.
else? Rob, okay, thanks, Rob. Just want to
Yep.
make sure I had you
Hi.
in the attendees list.
Cool.
Great. Hi, Rob.
Hi.
Okay, so the second item on the agenda is to review the work plan and accomplishments, which Gail and I collectively got put together. So I'm happy to pull those up. It's kind of a long document, but let me do that. And Gail, can I toss it over to you while I find those in the Google Drive to just provide a short overview of the accomplishments that we worked on?
Yeah, and actually, I'm sorry, Jackson, I wasn't able to finish cleaning up that document, so I don't have a lot to add. Everything
Are you
that's
referring to
on there,
are you talking about the work plan or the accomplishments, Gail?
the accomplishments, yeah. I think you had asked me to review that accomplishments document that Mike had started, and I haven't had time to even look at it.
That's okay. I was talking about the work plan to start.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I can provide a quick overview if folks didn't get a chance to read this. Like I said, it's fairly long, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But if you remember at the strategic planning retreats, we started outlining our kind of objectives and goals for the year, and we had a discussion about using the work plan to capture those and trying to stay away from describing the responsibilities necessarily of a specific position on the board, and really home in on those, like what your goals are for the year, kind of the big picture things you're trying to move. So Gail and I worked to collect that information, and I would thank Lauren, but she's not here. We used her notes as well. And so we cleaned this up into a 2025-2026 work plan document. So it's got some background information about the board, what our kind of overall priorities were that we discussed and outlined at the retreat. And then a slightly different format. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, where we've got role descriptions here, and then goals and objectives in a little table with some target dates. You know, we talked about trying to make these specific and have some dates attached. So like I said, not going to run through the entire thing, but I'm going to open the floor to feedback for folks that got a chance to look at this.
I really like the new format. I think it's nice how it showcases the goals and objectives for the year.
Thanks, Megan. Any other thoughts, questions? Okay, hearing none. I did want to add one kind of piece. So one change I did make when Gail and I were working on this document is, like I said, I was trying to stay away from like individual tasks being in here. So I wanted to propose a model for tracking some of our kind of recurring tasks. For instance, if I can use maybe Nick as an example, I didn't include in here in his goals for the year to review the budget each month because that's kind of part of his job description. So I wanted to propose a model and get feedback on a way to help us all keep kind of on track with all the various MAGIP related tasks that we have. And where did I put that document? Here we go. So what I did is I set this up for myself. And again, I think, this is, if everyone's excited about this, I think we could use this as a model, not trying to force it on anyone. So open to any feedback. But I think having, we have enough going on somewhere where we can kind of see where things are at would be helpful, at least for me, like as president. So my thought was to set up a basic kind of project management / task tracker. I think Google is the best, given that we're storing everything in our Google Drive. So I kind of modeled this for myself. And apologies, I meant to share this link in the email last week and I forgot. I'll drop it in the chat right now in case folks want to open it while I'm talking. Let's see. Okay, that link's in the chat. And if you can see, if you've ever used Trello or Microsoft Planner or anything, I set this up pretty similar to the way that those work. Originally, I was going to make this for everyone, and then it took me about a couple hours to get it set up and make mine, and then I realized that I was biting off more than I could chew. Oh, it's requesting access scale. Thank you. Let me. There we go. Try that now, Gail. So maybe Mike, I might have helped you out. I think I did because I started with President and VP. So Mike, you got a leg up potentially. But I set this up for myself and included those things that didn't make that work plan document, but that are kind of on our list. I think this will also help at the end of the year track what got done. So that falls to the past president. And one of the things that's really hard, as Mike and Gail have shared, is like trying to go back and figure out everything that we accomplished. We do a lot in a year, so that's hard. So for example, if I can point out a couple things. So we just participated in the MAP conference. So I added that as like a task as part of my responsibilities. And then it's completed because we did that in early October. So if everyone's game to do something like this at the end of the year, the past president can go in and use those tasks that are marked as completed to help with the accomplishments. It also can be set up for recurring tasks. So people like Lauren and Nick, when you have monthly to-dos, you can set these up, again, just to help keep you organized. And so that we can kind of see where things are at. And the other nice thing is you can add kind of collaborators on this. So you can put, the owner of that task, and then you can also put kind of a co-owner or collaborator, if you will. So that, Mike and I, if we're going to work on this MOU with MAP, we can add each other to that task and we can add notes and kind of see where things are at. So yeah, open to thoughts on if we think this might be a helpful model.
So I have a question, Jackson. I'm looking at the format of this. So how is this different from just using a spreadsheet? Because it looks like you have a tab at the top that says MAGIP tasks with a drop down, and then it's clearly task related, but do you want us to just like copy this and then paste it onto our tab and then use that as the format? What are
Yeah,
you
I think,
thinking?
yeah, so it's Gail, how it's different. It's in Google Sheets. They have all these like smart, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
smart sheet.
sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So they have different columns they have different domains in terms of like the data type. you know, date, in progress for status, that kind of thing. So yeah, my thought here was that mine could be a template that people could copy paste and then replace with their own tasks, and it should carry over everything, or you can maybe just duplicate the tab, whichever is easiest.
Cool. Yeah, it looks great.
And
It
then
is
I
hard
thought,
to track everything.
yeah,
To your
we've got
point,
a
it's
lot.
just so hard.
We got a lot of to-dos, and then I was thinking, what would be really, really helpful is for the big picture items. I was going to create a summary dashboard once everyone has populated theirs with like the things that aren't necessarily assigned to an individual per se, but are, you know, secure the venue maybe for 2027 GeoCon, things like that. Some of the bigger picture items, which I would set up after we have our individual tabs populated.
I would just add that, I mean, this is great, but it requires a total 100% buy-in if this is gonna work. And if some people are not gonna mess with it or try it, then it's gonna be kind of a waste, I think. I mean, it's great, it looks awesome, and, you know, if we can get 100% buy-in on it, then I think we should move forward with it for sure.
Other thoughts? I will pick on you. Nick, are you still on? Do you think this would be helpful for financial stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would definitely use it, and for me, I would almost want to take it a step further just for keeping track of when payments are due. But maybe that's something that I work into the like treasurer onboarding or treasurer folder, is having something similar just to keep track of our monthly and annual and biannual payments. But I think just like month to month, this would be pretty helpful. I would use it.
Okay, yeah, I think as Mike said, you know, it does require buy-in. I think each person, to your point, Nick, can kind of make it their own. So if you see a way that you can tweak it slightly to better serve you, I think that's fine. You know, I think the goal is not to create more work. It's just to keep us organized and keep balls from dropping, because we're all volunteers. And if you're like me, your MAGIP stuff, you know, figuring out like what my to-dos are, you know, when it's been 3 weeks since a meeting has happened, sometimes it's nice to have those all in one central place. So maybe, you know, I don't think it requires a formal motion or anything, but maybe we can test it. I can send a follow-up email after the meeting, and see if we can, I can encourage people to populate their tab by the next board meeting. Maybe we can test it for a couple months and just see if it's helping us keep things moving forward. And if it turns out that it's just more trouble than it's worth, then we'll drop it. So. That a fair plan?
That sounds great. I like the flexibility, and anything to help us stay organized is, it's worth trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I was just, go ahead, Gail.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to let you know that I was playing around with it and I'm not able to copy paste. And I think it's just a permissions thing. It's view only. So if you want us to be able to edit it, and that's entirely up to you. I know that on some smart sheets, we just don't allow editing, like only the owner can edit it.
Yeah, what I'll
Yeah,
do, Gail, is after this meeting, I will, because this is actually, I think, I don't even know if I dumped it in the MAGIP drive yet. It might be in my personal drive. So what I'll do after this meeting is I'll drop it in an appropriate folder in our board directory, and I'll send an email with some instructions on populating your tab. Does that sound good?
That'd be great. Yeah, that
Okay.
would be super.
Great. Okay, let me find the agenda again. And close it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so while that kind of task manager doesn't need approval, I looked back at last year and the work plan does. So if there are any other comments on the work plan, we'll take those now, and otherwise, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the work plan. This does get posted on our website, so it's important that we're all comfortable with the content.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 work plan.
Thank you, Gail. Can I get a second?
I'll second. This is Eric.
Thanks, Eric. All those in favor of approving the 2025-2026 work plan, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, work plan is approved. Thank you. Okay, so now Gail will move over to the accomplishments, which I think you said might just need a little bit more work in terms of tying off. How close are we, or do you want to just kind of give us a report? Do you need contributions from folks to go in and add things, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, I actually haven't even had a chance to look at it. I think I got your email last week on Thursday and requesting to finish it off, and I'm sorry, I just haven't had time. So you should probably give me a date to get that completed by, because it'll probably fall off my to-do. Yeah. We
No
can
problem.
look at it. I think we can look at it. I think it would be a good idea to have people that were here
You were in the
last
right-
year.
You were in the right spot before. Yeah, go back to board meetings. Or no, not board.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in there. Was it board? Yeah, right there. It's in the year prior. Nope. Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
right.
Yeah,
Got
and just FYI, all the work that's been done on this was done by Mike. So I honestly have not had an opportunity to look at it.
Yeah, that's correct, Gail. I didn't do, like I said, I filled in the dates. If you scroll back up, I got all the dates. I got the right order. I've scratched out a few things because those were from the previous year. I do believe I've added all the winners
What-
from last year's
what office?
web map stuff and everything already. I could have it wrong. Rob, were you gonna say something there? No. I mean, that's just something that needs to be double checked again. I believe I got those right for the map day, the stuff that the awards and stuff. But if there was anything else that needs to get added, we definitely need people to put their 2 cents in of what they remember.
Okay, so sounds like some deadlines would be helpful. Why don't and I think Gail could use some help with this because a lot of this comes down to what individuals accomplish that she might not be aware of. So can we aim for, let's see, what's reasonable? Is mid next week a fair target for us each to go in and if you weren't here last year, this is not applicable. But if you were here last year, go in and add or update any information on accomplishments, and then Gail can clean it up and get it finalized.
Yeah, but could you send a follow-up email with the link to this? Just for the rest of the board members too.
Yep. Yeah, I'll add this to my follow-up email along with the info on the task tracker. So we'll shoot for the 29th to have everything in, and then hopefully Gail won't be too much work to just do a final formatting check and get it polished.
Yeah, that works great. I actually, if everybody has the opportunity to look at it before the 29th, I just booked 2 hours on my calendar to finish it up on Thursday afternoon. So I should be able to have a finished document for you by that time. So yeah, I'd appreciate everybody that was here last year just putting their eyes on it, because I have an idea of what we accomplished, but may not be what you thought you accomplished. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so we don't need to approve that because it's not finalized yet. So shifting over to request for assistance, I think we need to vote on each one of these. I'm relatively new to this, so Gail and Mike, looking at you, I think we do need a formal motion on each request that came in. Is that right?
Well, we basically approved it already by not saying no in the emails, but to make it official, we have to throw it into the meeting, so it's in the minutes and everything, so yes.
Okay, so before we do that, so we can do a blanket approval then, Mike, at the end, kind of?
I think so, unless there was anybody that had any problems with any of these.
Okay, well, let's take them each in turn and offer folks a chance to weigh in. So, unless I'm missing any, although I think one came in since I made the agenda, maybe the one that Lauren submitted for Bozeman. But the ones that I had are the Montana State Library meetup in Helena on the 29th. You probably just saw a flyer for that, just hit your email, I think, today as well. So that is one. They originally requested above our kind of standard support amount of $200. I think they originally requested $500. There was some email conversation about that.
Other way around, that was the Flathead one, was the $500 one.
It was?
No, I think it was
I
the
don't
state
think
library.
so.
No,
Oh,
the
the
library.
state
Yeah, it
library.
was
Okay,
the
my
state
my-
library.
Yep, my bad,
Yeah.
my mistake.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's hard to keep them all straight. So there was some email back and forth. So I'd like to kind of open the floor for a discussion on if the board would like to entertain increasing our typical amount of support, which is $200. They requested $5.
Yeah, I guess I'll
I
go first.
feel like they do
Go ahead,
that
Rob.
every year.
Yeah.
I feel like every year they're asking for 5, and I don't know. I personally, my own feeling is that I don't like that very much. They're an institution. Them asking for 500 is very different than a person, an individual asking, for to host a meetup. I feel like they're more well-funded than an individual or, something of that nature. So I feel like they're kind of asking for more than they should. That's my own opinion. I'm happy. I would love to give them the standard amount, but I feel like we're going above and beyond by giving them above and beyond. How do other people feel about that?
Yeah, I would agree with Rob. I think that asking for more than the standard issue $200, and especially given the meetups that we have already on the calendar and the conversation about the budget, that we may already be like pushing the top of that budget, and that we might need to have a conversation about adding more funds to that line item. I feel like it would be inappropriate for us to give more for this other meetup. Especially because I don't feel like it's, I don't mean this in any disrespect, but if it's always in Helena, then the people and the members that are in Helena are the ones that benefit, and then others outside of that city don't necessarily get the benefit of those dollars. And I would rather see those dollars spread out across the state.
I have a
Thank you,
question.
Gail. That's what I was trying to get at also.
Is it listed, I guess, like what the default amount is when somebody fills out that form? And so they're seeing that, and then I think you're muted.
I believe it is listed that
Yeah.
the standard is $200, and I believe it is listed, and they should see it right away. I think so. I can't be positive, but I believe it's in the form.
Okay.
But I would agree
Megan,
with
do you
Gail.
remember?
Oh, go ahead,
Sorry.
Gail.
Oh, I was just going to ask if Megan remembered how much, if it identifies on the form or on the website. I'm going to check the website right
It's
now.
definitely on the website under the policy where
Yeah.
it says for meetups, appropriate for requests up to $200, for requests greater than 200, then the board needs to vote on it. And it also is on the form.
It's on the
Requests greater than $200 require a vote from the board.
So, to just put my little bit on there, I agree with Gail and Rob that definitely we shouldn't be, I don't think we need to be giving them more than the $200. I think $200 is good, and Gail is right. We are gonna be starting to push with all the GIS day stuff going on, that we may need to have that conversation about upping the budget line as well. But I agree, I would be in favor of the $200, but nothing more.
I feel the same about this situation, but they did mention how many people were likely to be in attendance. Is that something that we factor into deciding how much money to allocate?
Yeah, you know what? It's been a
Maybe
few
we
minutes since I've
never
looked at
have.
that Yeah. I feel like in the last year when they requested this, it was not just GIS professionals. I think that there were other community members that were going to be at the meetup, and I guess I feel really strongly that if we're going to be spending dollars for members, for member meetups, I love the idea of it being GIS professionals. But Jackson, do you have access to that request handy?
Like the email?
It's been a while since yeah, it's been a while since I've read it.
I can try to dig it up. Help if I spelled assistance right. Yeah, I think I don't. I'm sorry, Gail. We'll have to look at it another time. It's going to be a little too hard to track down quickly, I think.
I just found it. Should I forward it to you?
Yeah, or you can, yeah, that works.
Yeah. Let's just take a look at it really fast. I think this is the one that the contact person was Garrett Whiteshall.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It was, yeah, I'll let you share it.
Okay. I'm just
It
waiting
does
for
say
for-
20. Yeah. Okay.
$20 to $30. They said they're expecting around 20 to 30 major members and other GIS professionals. Okay, is there any other discussion? It does look like from our request for assistance policy that requests of over $200, like Megan said, it does specify that it's appropriate for up to, but that you can submit for higher than that. It does specify a board vote on those individually. So unless there's additional discussion, I'd like to move forward with a vote on approving or not approving the extra $300. I guess I'm assuming here that we would approve the standard amount. Any other discussion? Any other thoughts?
I'm good with the standard amount.
Okay, let's do a formal vote. So all those in favor of approving the Montana State Library request for assistance for the standard $200 and not the additional $500, say aye.
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 Hold on, can we get
Aye.
a second?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Megan.
Sorry.
Can I get a second?
I
I'll
will
s-
second that.
I think
Sorry,
that was
Mitch.
I think that was
That was
Mike
Mike.
or Nick.
Yeah.
Take your
Like,
pick.
Mike beat me
Megan.
to the punch.
Okay. That was Mike. Okay, we're gonna redo that then. So all those in favor of approving the standard amount for the Montana State Library meetup, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Hopefully I worded that clearly enough. I think we're all on the same page. Okay, so the next request for assistance was a meetup hosted by Flathead Electric. So this was a standard $200. This does not require an individual vote, I don't think. It's past the comment period, so it's if I'm understanding correctly, it's de facto approved.
Okay.
Does anyone have any more details on that? I don't think they did that last year. Is this a first time?
Yep.
First time request?
I think they've done it before.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it sounded like a very cool event. Okay, so I don't think there's any business on that one. Other requests. So I think Lauren submitted one for a GIS Day meetup at Shine in Bozeman. Gail, I think, are you helping organize that? We tell us just a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Oh yeah. So this is our GIS Day event, and co-hosts this year will be City of Belgrade, which is Levi Simonson, bless his heart. So City of Belgrade, City of Bozeman, Gallatin County, and Pickett and Associates. It will be at the library, and then so we're going to be mapping at the library from, I believe it's 2:30 to 3:30, and then we're gonna take our devices over to Shine, where we're gonna have which is actually where we'll use the money. Yeah, and we talked about maybe doing pizza at the library, so we'll see. We haven't got all the details on that, but that's the gist of it. And then I did actually also reach out to Christian Black at MSU last year. They joined us for the GIS Day event. So we'll see if they came last year. So yeah, quite a few members last year. It'll be fun to see how it goes this year since we've gotten a little more traction.
Yeah, awesome. I'd love to join as well, but I think I'm going to do one here at MSU. So we'll see what that day looks like at MSU. Maybe I can do both.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can we
Yeah.
just,
I assumed that you were doing an MSU event. So
can we describe what we're doing for GIS Day for everybody?
oh, yeah, you know what? Lauren is in charge of this, but in the past, we've done the power lines, but this
Right.
year the decision was made not to do the power lines, but to do like open data. And Lauren and Helen and I were looking at that last week. And honestly, I I was involved in as much as I know that it's going to be open data. And it sounds like when you get closer, some of the areas across the world, they open up and then they get completely mapped. And so they close those areas. So the area that we'll be mapping, probably we won't know until we get closer to GIS Day. But that's going to be Lauren. Lauren's going to take over the experience builder that Hillary stood up. And then she's also going to be putting those calendar events on it. So for all the people, they'll be able to go to that experience builder in the same way that she's done before. And then she'll put hyperlinks into that experience builder that will include instructions and where we'll be mapping and how to map and all those kinds of things. So should be a little bit more user friendly in the sense that we won't be using our ArcGIS Online resources for that mapping event. It'll be the open data. So should be a little easier.
Yeah, and we might need to make a backup plan. I don't know how long Lauren's going to be with her family. She's in Colorado. So I will try to I'm trying to respect her space while she's with her family, but I'll if I haven't heard from her maybe by the end of the week, I'll send her a message, and I'm happy to jump in if we need to, because I know we need to publicize
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You know what? Helen actually might be able to help out with that as well because she was there, and Curtis, I know, has done some of that kind of stuff too. So yeah, but let me know. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
okay, I'll touch base with Helen too.
Yeah, because I don't think we have another board meeting before GIS Day, so we need to get that figured out now. And get that publicized as soon as we can, I guess. Because I know here
Well, GIS,
in Billings,
it's
here-
actually the,
I'm sorry, in Billings here, I've got a meeting tomorrow with the people because they're organizing it again this year in Billings too. And they have questions about what we're doing and stuff like that and how they could do the request for assistance and everything too. So I just wanted to make sure I had my details down so I could tell them what to do, so.
yeah, so we actually have a board meeting on the 18th and then GIS Day is the 19th.
Yeah, so we'll want to get our ducks in a row because that's obviously
Yeah.
right before. Yeah, I think Mike, you can obviously request them to or direct them to the request for assistance.
Yep.
And then yeah, I'll touch base with Helen after this call, send her a message, and yeah, I'll follow up with information. We'll make sure that Alicia gets a blast out on social media about it as well. So
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gail, for getting that set up.
As much as I'm doing. Sorry.
okay, I think that's all the requests for assistance that have come in. I did put in a note on swag here. I didn't realize Michelle was going to be gone, so we might have to cut this a little bit short. But the plan is that we have some swag. We've ordered some swag. Michelle put in the order that we asked her to at strategic planning, and she's going to put together little, call them care packages, what have you, for the GIS Day events. So we'll need to work with her to manage to make sure that we have an appropriate, amount for each meetup based on the requests as they come in. So I'll kind of add that to our follow-ups. Any other requests for assistance conversation that needs to happen before we move on?
I had
wanna-
one
Yeah.
follow-up.
Go ahead, Megan.
Nick, since you're here and Lauren isn't, could you
Mhm.
follow up with Garrett and Flathead and Lauren to make sure they know that the request is approved?
Can do.
Or
Well,
at
make
least
sure-
Garrett.
Yeah.
You don't
Make
have to
sure
follow
Garrett-
up with Lauren. I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
make sure
the
Garrett
flathead
knows
and
it's only $200.
that's the Helena
Yeah.
MSO one. Okay.
Yeah. And then they'll have your contacts. So and let them know that when they have the receipts, how to get a hold of you. What to
That
do.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. How many GIS Day meetups do we usually have? Obviously Bozeman, Billings.
Well,
Are
both
there
of them
any
have
other?
two.
So okay.
And then
3
Helen
and
Miller
then-
will probably have one, Missoula will have one. Well, I'm guessing that's what happened last year, so
Okay.
at least 5.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
in the budget,
And
Nick?
with-
What do we have? What do we have in the budget?
I think that'll put us pretty much exactly at our budgeted amount for non-geocon meetup. That'll put us right at 1,500, assuming everybody uses all of their $200. I will point out that we budgeted $1,500 for keynote speaker travel, and John Nelson booked his flight, and it was under $500. So I saw that as a easy layup. I don't know how it works if we need to amend it for that small of an amount, or if we just leave a note that the remaining funds is supposed to go towards any meetups after GIS Day, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think we need to make an amendment for that small of an amount, but yeah, Nick, I think let's track them as they come in. If we're in the ballpark, 5 to 6, great. And if we start to get more than that, then we can have a discussion. Because we can even have a discussion at the well, I can hold mine back too in terms of my I can hold mine without financial support from MAGIP if needed. So I think we're okay.
Okay.
Hey, Jackson.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to bow out now because I got, like you, I have something else going on too at 3 o'clock, and I have to walk to the place, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get there. So I have to get out of here. I don't think I have anything else on the agenda for myself, so. And I don't think we're voting on anything else, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you're okay. We're kind of down to updates and reports. So Yeah, thanks, Mike.
So, all right, thank you, guys.
See ya. Okay, so we were gonna have a geocon report, but unfortunately I don't see Jeff. And Michelle's at a conference in Toronto, I believe. So I think unless someone has information that I don't have any updates. I was not able to attend their first conference planning committee meeting, which was a couple weeks ago. Does anyone have information that I don't?
Yeah, I just touched briefly with Jeff last week on conference planning. So we started the process of reaching out to some of the folks doing the workshops, and then I created a new spreadsheet for the workshop planning for 2026, and I put it in the G drive inside Magic. But at the moment, that's all I have for all of that.
Thanks, Dave. Is there anything you need from us to support the workshop communication or anything?
We're gonna have another meeting here in a couple weeks, but right now I don't believe so.
Okay. I'm going to try to attend that one. So, okay, great. Well, I'll see if I got a running list here. I'll add reaching out to Jeff. And if he has any information that needs communicated to the board, I'll put it in my follow-up email. So, okay, moving right along. Little report back from the MAP conference. So we had you'll remember that we talked about strengthening a partnership with MAP, Montana Association of Planners. So Mike and I joined their board meeting. I guess that was early October, and they were very enthusiastic about a stronger partnership with MAGIP. We pitched to them the idea we discussed at the strategic planning retreat of formalizing some sort of MOU, which outlines benefits that we would offer, primarily discounted conference registration rates and potentially membership rates, reciprocal for each other's members. They were enthusiastic about that idea, and having a table or otherwise participating in GeoCon and the MAP conference, which are both annual. So because that conversation happened right before their conference, which was October 7th through 10th, we don't have anything formal in place, but they did invite us to attend. So we had a major vendor / sponsor table there. I was there so we had the table up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Monday, it was Jeff. And someone else sat on Monday, and I'm blanking on who that was. But Jeff was at the table all day on Monday.
I think Jason attended some of it as well.
Oh yeah,
From our office.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So Jeff and Jason were there on Monday. They said they got quite a bit of traffic, good interactions, and then actually Hillary and I were there on Tuesday all day, and we also had quite a few folks stop by. A lot of people, we talked about GeoCon, had a lot of folks sound interested in checking out what MAGIP does. And so just got positive feedback, handed out some swag. And then the table was up on Wednesday too. So big thank you to Jeff, even though he's not here he was trying to help Montana State Library and wear his MAGIP hat at the same time. So that went super well. So Mike and I are now going to take the lead on drafting that MOU. And we'll obviously share it with our board first. And then MAP has said once we get it in a draft format, we can send it to them and they'll kind of discuss it internally. And the goal is to have something signed in the next couple months.
Cool.
Yeah, should be great. Any questions? Okay, great. With that, I'll kick it to you, Eric, if you don't mind giving us an MGAC update.
Certainly. I'll be quick for you, everyone's sake here real fast. So we had a business meeting in September, just about a month ago here, actually almost exactly a month ago. You could see the meeting minutes, the meeting agenda, everything's on the council website. So if you want to look at the reports, everything like that, I won't go into the detail on the reports or anything like that. they're all linked off the council's website. The big thing out of everything was the approval of the geospatial information plan from the council side. That was then about a week or two later, a couple weeks later, it was presented. It also then has to pass the library, I guess there's a library council, a state council for the library. And so I attended that meeting. I think that was October 6th or 8th or something like that, the 8th. And the plan was approved at that meeting as well. So the Montana, the geospatial plan is in effect now for approved 2025 through June of 2028. That's what they'll be using as we move forward with doing any of the work. November's meeting will be a budget meeting. We'll get some updates on where we're going with grant fundings and the availability of grant funding. For many of you, if you're not aware, as of October 1st, the filing fee went up. So the fee now is, let's see, how's that broken out? $2.25. $2.25 for every filing goes to the MGIA account, and 75 cents goes to the county land account, to the local government side of things. So there's a really great Montana Act recordation fee dashboard. Matter of fact, I have it open. I'll drop it in the chat for everyone. So all you folks that are in local government, if you want to know where things are at, that gives you kind of a breakdown of the recordation collections. And so, yeah, so our big thing, let's see here. There you go. Look at that. Is yeah, the collections, the quarterly final report's all available. Oh, of interest, the my position for MGIC is actually open. By bylaw, by rules, I'm a member. I stay on council unless two things: someone else is appointed in my position, or I resubmit my application and I get reappointed. All positions are governor appointed positions except for the state admin ones. And so I've been a little slow on getting my letter submitted. So, but if any of you guys want to, Control C, if you're interested, you can take a look at what board openings are available in state government. It doesn't apply just to council. I think when you apply now, you just type in geospatial, Montana Geospatial Advisory, and you'll get to see what openings are available. And so I do intend to submit my information, but I just haven't. I keep forgetting to. Yeah, so you can see on that website, you can see the list of openings. Search, and if you type in geos, geez, that's horrible, Eric. Geospatial. You will see. So right in the middle, there's a list of openings, and type in geospatial. You'll see. There's an opening for a person who's a member of MAGIP, a county or municipal government opening, someone active in GIS representing utilities or a private business, as well as a tribal government one. So if anyone on the board's interested, then you can go and then you can just maybe get appointed to be a board member as well from council. So yeah, those are a couple of the things. Like I said, November, I'm on their subcommittee to review all the grant planning documents for when after we've had our budget meeting in November to determine where we're going with things on reopening the grant program. When it gets opened, just know grants will be written for, you'll be writing grants for a 2-year cycle versus a 1-year cycle. So when you're looking at your budgets for doing any matching funds, things like that, you might want to keep that in mind. That will be probably better explained by Aaron and company once we start opening, when we look at the grant program again. So, because they're looking at it as a biennial type of thing versus an annual turnover. It's management, administrative costs on their side for managing grants that continually need to get rolled over every year is pretty strict, pretty high, I guess. So, but yeah, that was it real quick. I think I actually talked pretty fast and got everything out of my mouth that I needed to. Any questions?
Yeah, Eric, I think we might be interested in helping echo the new grants application process and timeline. So when that's finalized, we could certainly ask Alicia to, either repost or make a post which just says, the process has changed, because I know a lot of our members probably are applying for some of those grants.
Yep. Nope. You took the thoughts right out of my mind right there, Jackson. I was gonna utilize my role in MAGIP as making sure you were used as a sounding board for all of that. So
yeah, great. Any other questions for Eric?
Gail has one.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. That was a great update. And I appreciate the link that you shared. So I'm looking at the dashboard for the county geospatial information account. And oh my gosh, I'm looking at fiscal year 2026 and seeing how low those dollar amounts are. And I realized that it's fiscal year 2026.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind there's usually about a month lag between with collections and when the information gets provided. So
that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, because you won't see that October kick. You won't see that kick from October. Oh, I would imagine not till maybe November, maybe December, maybe if we get a big kick. So
got it. Thank you. I was hoping that was the case, because I saw the dollars were pretty low, and I was just having a little bit of I mean, I know they've been low.
Yeah, in fiscal year 26, when you look at I mean, that's only we're only what, 4 months into the fiscal year, so and actually probably only 2 or 3 months are being reported in this one. There's another if you want to, in that agenda, if you have that agenda open, hold on, page 2 of the MLIAC, if you have if you go to the, I sent the, go to that council meeting, go to the, actually, if you go, here, I'll see if I can get it open quick enough. There's a quarterly financial report, and I'm going to just
publications, Eric?
No, it's in your chat now. There's a quarterly financial report that you can see that is that's a data portal that is done. So that one will show you, and you can look at not just MGIA, but other accounts if you go digging. So it's in the chat now if you want to open that one up.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks, Eric. I guess we have one more report, so we better move it along. Andrew, are you on and able to give a local government SIG update?
No, I don't see Andrew. Yeah, I don't see him.
We had a great meeting last week. I know we had a great meeting last week, so.
I did share, he said he was going to be on, but maybe something came up. I did share our agenda with him. So maybe a wire got crossed. Okay, add that to my follow-up email.
If there's a minute, there's something I'd like to bring to the table.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Okay. So, we had just a terrific conversation about the long-term fund at the retreat, and Nick and I followed up with the Montana Community Foundation. We had a good meeting there. There seems to be some potential. There was a holdup, and we haven't heard back yet about our tax status. And it'd be much easier to do the foundation type work with the 501c3 status. Now, we're not going to change the status of MAGIP, I think, but an interesting idea to consider is we could have like a sub or a parallel sort of organization. We could call it something like MAGIP Foundation and structure it as a 501c3. And then that would that could be used for the long-term type of funding mechanism. So I just want to throw that out there. I hope maybe we can discuss that at some point. It may be possible that we can work through with the foundation with our current status, but if not, I want to throw that out there as an option. And one other thing I wanted to mention, the foundation was great. They had some good options, so on and so forth. But I also met with Wells Fargo the other day. I have some personal banking there. I talked to my banker. I was like, what can you do for us in terms of those interests? And he said they have a commercial banking branch, and that would be the one to contact. So I'm waiting for some contact information on that. So anyway, there's no action items required. Conversation definitely if you want to have it, but I just wanted to put that out there as some follow-up.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob, for moving those things forward. I would be, if you have notes from that call on some of the constraints and the pros and cons on the C3 versus C4, I'd be willing to put those in my follow-up email. Maybe you and I can exchange emails and I can add some of those.
That sounds good. There weren't a ton of details, and she has not elaborated on the exact constraints. She was going to look into it herself. But as soon as we get them, I will bring it to your attention.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm happy to blast it out to the full board because we've just got, Gail had to jump for another meeting, so we're down to 6. So we're missing a few faces. But thanks for moving those forward. Anything else that got left on the cutting room floor? I know we're kind of at time here, so but any other items that need discussed? Okay, great. Nick, I kind of left you off the agenda because I know we haven't had a ton of financial activity since the strategic planning retreat, but maybe we can have a longer financial update at the next board meeting.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks everyone, appreciate it. Sorry we ran a couple minutes over, but we'll be in touch. Have a great rest of your day and your week.
Great.
Thank
Thanks, guys.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.